Now, have you seen what normally takes place when we go through funerals? People tend to be more scared of somebody who's dead than when they are alive. Have you noticed that? You know, for some reason, I think the enemy has managed to put this thing in our minds that somebody, when they are late, there's something which is taking place. Even those who are used to seeing the individual, they don't get comfortable. But then, look at this. They bury somebody. They just drop him because they want to run away. They drop him, get on their feet, started running away. And what did they hear? What do they hear calling from behind? Now somebody is calling from behind. Wait for me. What's happening? You see, the title for our talk is, what is the title for our talk? When someone touches you. Now imagine that story. Elisha did a lot of miracles, but I figure that this is the greatest of all miracles. Touching the dead bones, and somebody comes back to life. Now the guys are running from the Moabites. Somebody's chasing after them. The more they increase speed, the more he increases speed. You can, try to, figure, this is not just a tale. It's a story which happened. It's recorded in the Chronicles of the Bible. It happened. When I was speaking on this issue, a lady came to me in Hackney. They said, you know what? This kind of similar issue happened in one hospital, and she was there. She's a senior lady, and she said they prayed for her and they put her in the coffin. Then for some reason, the person revived, and she is still alive even today. The lady. Don't lose where we're going. Now, Israelites would be in time of distress at this time because, number one, somebody's died. It's a time of distress. Just like, we have what is happening for our brothers and sisters in St. Lucia in the islands. It's not a time that you would think to. It's only when you trust in your God and believe that He's in full control that you can still be able to smile. Otherwise, without that, it's time of distress. They were in a time of distress. Someone has died. They want to bury somebody. Then when they are going to bury somebody, people come and take whatever they have. It's a difficult time. And I suppose it's a time when they had started asking questions like, where is the God that we used to know? Where is the God of Elisha? Who used to perform miracles for us? They were starting to ask those questions. But then even before they finished asking that kind of a question, somebody springs back to life. So the spirit that used to work in Elisha, I want to say to you, I'm so glad to say, the spirit and the God that used to work in Elisha did not die with Elisha. You don't get that, do you? Elisha died, but the God that used to work miracles in Elisha and Elijah are still alive today. Even for those who are struggling at the moment. You've got your house well built, suddenly the winds, hurricane comes and strikes down. What do you think in your mind? Do you think there's a God? If you don't trust God, if you don't rely on this book, obviously you think that's the end of it. There's no God. But that same God who performed miracles during that time is alive. When Elisha died, he remained alive. So that's good news for you and I. That's good news. But then the question on today's sermon is that when somebody comes in touch with you and I, do they get revived? Or if they were dying, they even die quicker? That's a serious question. When somebody comes in contact with me, somebody who's dead spiritually, somebody who is contemplating living for good, somebody who is deciding to forget about Christ altogether, when they come in touch with me, do they spring back to life, or that will be the end of their life? You see, it is the way we talk, the way we look at people, you know, the way we shake their hands. Those are the issues. When they look at me, when I say hello, when I turn around, do they see Christ? Do they spring back to life? Now, we're not talking about, how, well, I'm able to hold my Bible, or to stand up when I've been asked to stand up, or sit down when I've been asked to sit down, or, holding the Bible at a proper angle, or kneeling down at the right time, giving offerings at the right time. We can all do that. We can all do that. It's not about that. It's about true worship which comes from the heart. And that can be seen when people practice true worship. There's a time we can cheat this one and that one. I told you of a story of somebody, a family who were going to steal a family. Normally you don't see families stealing, do you? You see individuals stealing. But this was a family which was going to steal. And the child, obviously, one child was asked to stand there, another child was asked to stand there, another one there. You watch for us, as we get into this place to take. Then one child was said to say that, we've got someone there, someone there, What about up there? Who's watching up there? Who's watching up there? If we are not being seen from above. So we can cheat everyone else, and at times manage to cheat even ourselves, but we can't cheat God himself. So true worship is worship which comes from within. So when somebody, that's the question I have for you this afternoon. When somebody comes into this house, see how we talk after church, the amount of noise in here after church. Do they see God? Do they get back to life? Or they think it's better for me to go back to the pub? Or do they think it's better noise in the pub? Are we coming back home now? Now, before I open my mouth, I need to remember which place I am in. This place is a holy place. And many people come here for healing, not for killing or to be killed. So how we do things in here is either going to revive somebody, spring them back to life, or allow them to die quickly. So, each time, ask yourself, let me ask myself a question. When I sit down there, am I contributing to somebody springing back to life? Or am I contributing to somebody's dying quickly? So, when Elisha was asked to remain at Gilgal, he refused. He refused to stay at Bethel, and he refused to stay at Jericho. Are you contented at staying where you are today? Am I contented when I'm staying where I'm staying at the moment? Is there no better place where I can move on to? Can I not move on higher spiritually. We were discussing this last night in Hackney in a week of prayer. Thanks to Pastor Des, who's been running for us here. I don't know, it's a shame for some of us who didn't manage to come. But this week was an exciting week. We thank God for that. We thank God for that. The point was, many of us plan for colleges. We plan for what we want to do in life. We plan exactly how we want to build our house and this and that. Rarely do we plan on our Christian life. We don't care planning. We don't do any planning in terms of how am I going to grow spiritually. We can plan on everything in terms of school, college, whatever. After this, I'll go on this point, this point. Spiritually, we need to be able to plan if we are going to help somebody who touches us. If we are going to help somebody who touches us. So my message this afternoon, our message is very simple. Very, very simple. When somebody touches you and myself, touches me, if I help them, when they see me, when they come in here, have they been helped? Ilford Church is a hospital where ill and sick people come for healing. Are they coming for healing? That's my question to you this afternoon. And may God bless you. That as the dead body touches spiritually, touches you, touches me, they may spring back to life. It is a shame. After coming here for many, many years, and someone touches me, have you heard of this point that when someone is asked to preach or to speak or to sing, they need to go and practice normally or to read, go through, pray about it. But should somebody step on you or cut you when you're driving, you don't need to practice, do you? Do you practice those long words? Do we practice when somebody has been rude to us, what we say to them? The bad words that we give. Do we practice? No, we don't. My prayer is, let's plan this Christian life so that when somebody touches me, the way I react, respond, will bring them back to life. May God bless you.
We thank Pastor for allowing the Lord to use him. And we just want to pray that we don't become murderers, isn't it? When somebody touches us spiritually. We are going to close this session with hymn number 99. And they have been requested that once Pastor has done his prayer, that's not the end of the program. We have got a prayer and fast going on. If you are not participating, just stand up